Welcome back to another beautiful day in the land of music. My name is Douglas, and today I'm going to be talking about the controls, the keybed, and the panel layout of the Nord Stage 3. Alright, I have the 73 key compact version in front of me right now. There is an 88 key and a 76 key. The main differences you'll see between those, as I've mentioned before, is the physical drawbars. So 73 compact has the physical drawbars here, whereas the 88 and the 76 have just the buttons with LED bar to indicate. The keybed on the 73 key has semi-weighted waterfall style, great for organ playing. Now, I can't give an opinion on the keybed of the other two versions because all I have is the 73 compact, but what I can say about this is the keys don't feel plasticky or clicky. They also don't have much play in them. They're very solid feeling, and the front of them is a solid front, unlike some of the keys where you've got that space in front. It's just a little plastic ledge. This is full solid front, and they play really nice. I'm able to get good dynamics out, but I really like the feel of these. I've always been picky about the keys, and this really, it satisfies my hunger for good keys on a keyboard. So I'm really happy with how these feel, and they're great for all sorts of sounds. So you can get like piano, you can get some of the dynamics are really soft. Then you can also get those harder dynamics if you want. Then we can go into some electric pianos. I apologize for the clicking. My audio interface, Complete Audio 6, doesn't work all the time and clicks, and it drives me nuts. When it comes to the controls, there are 4 types of controls that you'll find on the Nord Stage 3. The dials, like you see here, the program, that, and some of the list are 360 degrees. They have no start and stop point, but they do have steps built in to help you dial in on parameters. So if we go here, it clicks, so there's steps built in, but there is no start and stop. The level knobs, like you see here on the top of each section, these have an LED indicator, so you can see the setting, but there still is no start and stop in terms of the pot themselves. Then there are the potentiometer type knobs, so these with the white line. These have a start and a stop point. So here, and generally it goes from 0 to 10, and are generally used for parameter style adjustments where you have the number to indicate. One helpful tip is you can hold monitor and twist a knob to see what the current value of that knob is without affecting the value of that knob. Finally, the buttons here are used to control different functions, as well as things like shift to access the functions on the bottom. So you'll see for each button, there's the top and the bottom text. The top is without holding shift, and then shift, you get access to the bottom functions. Outside of the controls, there are two screens. We have the main screen here that controls the setup menu and other information related to the programs. And then over here, if we were to turn on the synth section, there is a screen dedicated to the synthesizer with all the parameters for whatever program's called up there. Both screens are really easy to read and nicely display the information without feeling too archaic. They also stand out nicely on stage when the lighting's not so good sometimes. These cut through really nicely. It's very crisp text, easy to read. Over on the organ section, we've got the 9 drawbars that are used to control the organ sounds. In the 76 and the 88 key version, as I mentioned, they're represented by 2 buttons and an LED chain graph to show the level of the drawbar on the organ sound. I like the feel of the drawbars. Again, like the other buttons and controls, they feel nice and solid. And obviously, they're not going to do anything when I've got a piano sound called up. But if I were to go to the organ, you'll notice on the screen, I don't know if you can see that, but the values are also displayed on the screen for what they are here. Finally, over here on the left-hand side, we have the pitch, knuckle, and the modulation wheel. These are a little unique to the Nord. Usually you have 2 wheels, a pitch wheel and a modulation wheel. In this case, you have what I call the knuckle, and you can modulate that back and forth, almost like vibrato, to control the pitch of the sound. To me, feels a lot more natural than a wheel for the pitch, so I love that. And then the modulation wheel controls a lot of your morph parameters and obviously your modulation, tremolo. But this almost feels like stone or some other ceramic type material. Feels really good and solid. I like the feel of both of these. So in terms of the controls, I love how the Nord stage is set up. Feels like a win in the perspective of quality and feel. And so far, I have no gripes in how anything works, how anything functions. From a live perspective, it works really well. In terms of the layout, you start off with your master level over here and your rotary speaker, your organ section, your piano section, your programs, your synth section, external, and then your effects. All of these are laid out in a way that keeps as many of the controls and functions out of the screen as possible, which is great for live use. You don't have to dive into menus. Most of the controls you need are right on the surface here. One of the things I love about each section, so the organ, piano, and synth each have their own dedicated on-off as well as volume control for that section. This is great for layers and splits, quickly setting them up, setting the volume of each of your layers, and then the splits can be defined. You see on the organ here, it's only in the top half, whereas the piano is across a whole. So these 4 LED indicators give a really quick reference of where these sounds are split and layered. And then we could also layer a synth sound on top of there and adjust the volume there. So there you have it. Controls, layout, and keybed of the Nord Stage 3. I hope this was helpful if you're looking to buy this keyboard or trying to gain some knowledge on how it works. As always, if you have questions, throw them in the comments below. And until next time, stay inspired and keep making that music.